Now we can apply the IP version 6 address to network 4. So we can go to the router R3. No. Enable. We can go to the global mode. In global mode we can give IP version 6 space unicast hyphen routing. So then only this router can forwards the IP version 6 traffic, otherwise it cannot be forwarded. Next, now we can assign the IP version 6 address to local area network. So first of all we can go to that interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Now we can assign the IP version 6 address. So the syntax for assigning IP version 6 address is IP version 6 space address 2001:3DF2:4000:/64 space EUI-64. So IP version 6 is an 128-bit address. /64 indicates the net ID. So first 64-bit is a net ID and last 64-bit is an host ID. So EUI-64 means the expansion of EUI is extended unique identifier. That means the last 64-bit host ID can be generated depends upon the MAC address of fast Ethernet 0/0. So the MAC address is an 48-bit address. So remaining 16 bits can be included as FFFE. Now we can enable this interface using the command no shutdown. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0. So in this interface also we have to enable IP version 6. So the syntax for enabling IP version 6 is IP version 6 enable do show IP version 6 interface fast Ethernet 0/0. We can see, do show IP version 6 interface fast Ethernet 0/0. We can check. Yeah, this is an net ID. So last 64-bit can be generated depends upon the MAC address of fast Ethernet 0/0. So the MAC address is do show interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Here we can see the MAC address is 0030.f204.bd01. So each character represents an hexadecimal. So 0 means 0000. So 0 means 0000. So the first 7th bit is 0 means we can take as 1. If it is 1 means we can take as 0. So here we can take as 1. So 0230. So leading 0 can be eliminated. So the MAC address is 230. Here we can see 230. Next F2. Here also F2. So next the first 24 bits, the leading 0 can be eliminated. Next we can include FFFE. Next last 24 bits, MAC address is 04BD01. Here we can see 04BD01. So in router 3 local area network we can assign only the fast global address only, but here we can see link local address also generated, because in fast Ethernet 0/0 interface if we have to enable IP version 6 means it automatically generate the link local address. Here we can see FE80:230:F2 FF:/FE04:BD01. So just we can enable that interface as an IP version 6 means it automatically generate the link local address. So using link local address we can communicate within the network without applying the global address. If you want to communicate from one network to another network means we have to apply global address to communicate from one network to another network. Okay, exit. Now we can assign the IP version 6 address to WAN network. So we can go to that particular interface serial 0/0/1 IP version 6 space address. So 2001:3DF2:EEEE: the net ID is 7000. So 7000:2/64. So IP version 6 is an 128-bit address. So 64-bit is a net ID and last 64-bit is an host ID. Here host ID is 2. Now we can enable this interface using the command no shutdown. So in this interface also we have to enable IP version 6. So IP version 6 space enable, exit. Next we can assign the IP version 6 address to interface serial 0/0/0. So interface serial 0/0/0. Next we can assign the IP version 6 address IP version 6 space address 2001: colon 3df2 colon, so the net ID is 8000. So here we can give 8000 colon 2 slash 64. So first 64 bit is a net ID and last 64 bit is an host ID. So the here host ID is 2. Now we can enable this interface using the command no shutdown exit. Okay, now we can assign the IP version 6 address to local area network and wide area network. Now we can configure OSPF version 3 routing protocol, because in network 1 we can communicate from one network to another network. We want to communicate means we have to apply routing protocol, then only we can communicate from one network to another network. So here we can apply OSPF version 3 routing protocol. We can configure into router 1, router 0. Enable, go to the global mode, configure terminal. In global mode we can give IP version 6 space router